Okay, so our project for today, it will be a flight API. We need to implement authentication. That means the user should be able to register, should be able to log in, should be able to log out. Also, the user should be able to add a flight, maybe also update a flight or delete a flight. But here for testing, we need to use Postman. So when you try to test, update, and delete, you need to use Postman. Okay, I think you already have the template. So let's go first to our index.js. And in here, I already have the same stuff for, it's the same project as for shop API. Do you want me to delete everything and start again? It's up to you, because it will be the same exactly. Sorry?
Part of the server. No.
Fine. I'm gonna keep the handle 404. I'm gonna keep handling error here, listening to my server, and I'm gonna delete the rest, and we will build it together. Other than that, it is the same actually. Well, let's build everything together. It will be nice. Why not? Let me run my server first. npm run dev. All the time, your server should be running. If you encounter any error, because I did not do npm I install. So your server all the time should be running, and when you encounter an error, you should go inside your server in your terminal. Your terminal tell you what the problem is, in which file, in which line, and even indicate what the error is. Okay, so our project will be Flight API. I am in the index.js. That's my main server. And what should I do? The first step. It's exactly like the previous projects. What should I import? Before Express, I have built-in module. I need them.
Your name.
Yes, so I need the path, the dir name, and also I need file to URL path. So first I need to import. So I will need to import path, and also I will need to import dir name from path. That's first. Second, I need to import something else, which was called file URL to path. I need these two. Why? Because I need to construct my path. I will need the path when I'm trying to indicate render a static folder like public, and also when I'm telling that my view exists in this specific place. Okay, second, what do I need other library? What do I need other library? So those are built-in module. I need other library installs them. So I need Express. I need .env. Do I need something else? Cookie parser. So indeed. So I will just say import Express from Express. I will need to import .env. So let me import .env from .env, and I need to import cookie parser. Import cookie parser from cookie parser. That should be okay. What should I do now? What should I do?
Okay.
Before that, so of course now I will import my route, but I will now, what do I need? What is the first step in my code except importing? I need to load logger later. It's down.
Okay.
So I need to load environment variable, and in order to do so, I need to say .env config. So voila, now here I can create my port. So what will be my port? Const port is equal to process .env the name inside my .env, which is port all cap, or I can give it another value. Why I'm giving it second value?
It's the first.
Yeah, so for some reason, if I was not, or let's say my server is not able to access the .env, it will take the second value. So I can just say const port all cap by convention. It's equal to process.env.port, because why? Inside my .env, I have port, as you can see, all cap. That should be fine. I've defined my port. What should I define after that? The path, exactly. So here I need to construct the path or path. How can I construct path?
File name.
Yes, so I can just say const underscore underscore, that's the convention, underscore underscore file name. As a file name, I can use file URL to pass, and then I can pass import.make that URL, and it will give me the absolute path to the current file, which is index.js. Where does index.js exist? In which folder? Miss Milano, focus with me. Where this exists, this one, index.js, where does it exist? In shop API, indeed. Remember, when I use file URL, it depends where you are. Because now I am index.js, that's the reason why when I construct my the dir name here or the directory name here or the path, it will start here. It will indicate to this one. Okay, now I can just say const path all cap. All should be all cap actually. Path like that. It will be equal to dir name. On here, I need to pass underscore file name. What should I do after that? Initialize express. So I can now here initialize express app or just express. And in order to do so, I will just say const app is equal to express. I need to execute it because what's importing here, what we are importing from express is actually a function. What should we do after that?
We have the cross ENV port.
The port is here.
Yeah, in ENV it's 5004. And here you put 3000. It will be a problem.
No. You can define any port you want to. But here I normally like to make them very close. So 54, 53. But you can put any port as long as they're more than 1000. Why? Because most of the port which are less than 1000, they normally used by the operating system. So in order just to avoid that, you can use anything above 1000. It's fine. And if the port is busy, it will tell you in your terminal that the port cannot be processed already in use. You can just change it. That's it. Okay. What should I do after that? What should I do after that? I need to parse some stuff, right? So let's try to parse some stuff. Parse. Or parser, or let's just name it parser like that. Parser. What should I parse? Express.json, express.url encoded, and also I need to parse what? I need to use cookie parser, all three. So app.use cookie parser, and here I will need also app.use, which will be express.url encoded extended true. You can make extended false if you want to. The difference between them, when I say extended true, I'm sorry, maybe I can make it true. If I say true, it will provide me with a little bit more data, which will be a little bit better. That's it. Okay, I've used the parser. What should I do after that?
Static.
Yes, I can serve static folder. So let's serve static files or folder. And here, how can I serve static folder? App.use express.static, and I need to pass, or I need to pass inside it the path to this folder I'm trying to make it accessible or public. So it will be app.use express.static, and I'm saying pass.join. Can anyone tell me why I'm using this function pass.join? To join the path, which will be the absolute path to shop API. We agree on that, and public. But there is another reason why you are using pass.join. Because it will work according to different operating system. Because again, there is difference between Linux and Mac and Windows. For in Linux and Mac, we use / to construct the full path, but in Windows is /, and that's the reason why we are using. After that, what should we do? We can use a logger, for example. We have a logger, right? Where is our logger? Are we importing our logger? No. So let's import it here. I will just say import. Let's just say import. What was the name of the logger? What do we call the logger? Middleware. And then here I can import my route as well. So my middleware here, I think it was import logger and log HGER. It will be from /middleware. So yeah, that's a middleware here. That's okay. And .logger, and that should be fine. And now here I can use my logger. Why I need to use my logger? What's the reason? Use middleware. Why I'm using the logger?
To check the data.
To check if the user or if the client try to send a request, first we will see some data in the console here representing the date, the time, and also type of request. Is it get, is it delete, is it post, is it put, and also to which route. So /API /product, for example, and so on. And then after that, we're saving it to a file inside the folder called logs, and here log.txt. Like that, we will know how many requests come into our server. Okay. So how can I use this middleware? App.use, and I just need to pass my logger, simply like that. Simple. After that, what should I do? Yeah, actually, I need to define the view engine. How can I define? So define, or let's just say define. No, define the view engine. The view engine. What view engine we are using? Which view engine we are using?
Yes.
Of course, if I go to package.json and here you search, we are using HYF, as you can see. So how can I do that? Now I can just say app.set. So I would say app.set view engine here. This again, the view engine here, you need to do the same as it's written, because if I go to the documentation, it's exactly written this way. And after that, I need to define the path to the view. So how can I define the path to my view? It's the same idea, app.set views with s, path.join path, and then here it will be my views. What should I do after that? I can now use my route. I don't have any route, so I can go to the next step. What should I do? Handle 404. That's first, exactly. To handle 404, of course, I can now just use app.use and status 404, and here they are sending nothing. I want to send AGS, and in order to do so, which function do I need to use? Render, and I have 404, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go here. I have 404. What 404 require from me? Title and message. That means I need to pass title and message. So let's go here. And yeah, the title is here, but the message is not here, so I can pass my message. And after that, everything, it will be fine. Oh, the page not found. That should be fine. What should I handle after 404? Error. So I can just handle error. And error, how many parameter it takes? The error, how many parameter? 4. We have error, we have request, we have response, and we have next. But we don't need to use next, actually, as you can see here. So we have error, we have request, response, and next. We can just console.error, error.stack. Inside the error, it will be object. The stack, it will give me an information about the error. And here I'm using res.status 500. Why 500? Why 500?
Server error.
Because it's a server error. So here I'm using the same template, which will be, I don't have 500, so I can use 404. By the way, you can create 500 if you want to. But if I create 500, it will be the same as 404. So I don't have to create something new. But for you, if you want to create it, I don't mind. That's fine. After that, what should I do is the last step. I should listen to my to port or to my server. Listen to server. So here it will be just app.port. Server is up and running. I don't like that. I like server is up and running. On port, localhost port, which will be perfect. Now, as you can see here, this guy is working fine. My main file here, which is the index.js, which is the most important one, is everything is fine. You see, Samuel, it's not difficult. It's just matter of how I know the structure. That's it. Okay. What should I do? The next step. Now, this one is okay. We can go to somewhere else. Where we can go now? Route. Good. So I have users. I'm not gonna modify the user because I think they are quite clear. If they are not clear, tell me. I'm gonna delete them and reprogram them again. So I need to import Express, and here I have the controller. So I have different user
Samir,
Yes.
yeah, I have a doubt here because
Yes.
I try the same by using, usually for updating, we'll be using put method, right? And for deleting, we'll be using delete, no?
Yes. So for
So,
update, yes.
yeah,
Yes.
but here we are not using that two methods, but I tried using it and it's not working also.
It is not
Is it possible to use those methods for update and delete?
Yes, but again, we cannot test them because we don't have a front end. So the reason now I will add this method, but I'm gonna test them using Postman because Postman allow me to do all type of requests. But now, as you can see, I have EGS, and EGS is some type of form, and the form only do two stuff here, two method, two verb, which is get and post only. So either I'm gonna change the put. So either I'm gonna change the method from put to delete to get or post to make it work. I don't like that, and that's the reason why today I'm gonna use Postman. Is it okay, Minshu?
But for using Postman, here it should be, it is not required, like here it should be put or delete, right? No?
No, because what I'm doing here, so let me go line by line, and then I will show you. No, here is not put and delete. Put and delete, we never delete a user. Here we are in the user route. So a user, we never
Yeah.
delete user. Unless the user want to delete, then I can create a new route for the user. But most of the time, we never delete a user. We delete a product, we add a product, something like that, but a user, no. Unless, of course, the project manager or the CEO ask me, okay, you need to create a new route for delete user, and then I can create a delete user. Is the idea clear, Minju?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay, so first I need to import
And
it.
the same case with put also here, because
Same
we
idea,
have used.
yeah.
Hmm.
In real project, of course, I need to implement the put and delete. But now in our project, we will never delete the user really. We are just trying to enable the user to do register, to log in, and then log out. That's it. But in real application, the user should be able to cancel his account, for example, or delete his account. And
Okay.
to implement this is very simple. All I have to do just route dot the method, and after that, in my controller, I can just take the user and take them from database and delete them from database. That's it.
Yeah, but in real, in this example also, if I want to update any details, I can use put, right?
Yes. So this put is the method to update anything. Delete is the method to delete anything. Yes. But again, if I'm using put and delete, I cannot test them here inside. Now, when I go to my browser, I have EGS. So I don't really have a front end. The front end is make it really easy because you can send different requests, including put and delete. But now I don't
Mm.
to implement those, because if I implement those, I have to change the method to get or post. Did you get the idea?
Yes, yes.
Good.
Because we did put and delete method for cat API initially. Then
Mm.
from movie, we are using this. So I just tried with put and delete. It was not working. Now it is clear. Thank you.
I'll show you now when we do the flight. I will show you also. I will implement update and delete, but I will need to use Postman to do that. But don't do it for testing. Don't worry. Anyway, so as you can see, I need to import my controller, and as you know, the controller, it will be inside controller here. So controller, it will be what type of data the controller will be?
Object.
Object. Of course, it will be an
Object.
object, and inside this object, I have a different method or different controller. Then I need to create a router. So a router here is a small express application, allow me to create separate route, as you can see. I'm just importing my guys here, which will be the user route. But the user route, as you can see, it's an object. Because it's an object, I can destructure it. That means I can take all these function, which is register, login, log out, get register form, get login form outside of this object. And that's the reason why I'm doing here. Of course, for login, I will need slash login. Then when the user go to slash login, I need to send him a form. Okay, and that's the reason I'm saying get login form. When the user try to really log in, then the method it will be post, and here my controller it will be login. The second one here, when the user, I'm sorry, that's login. When the user try to register, first go to register, and the method is get, I need to send him a form. And when slash register, but the method is post, I will try to register the user. And for logout here, I've just used the method get. Why? Because when the user click on this one, it will go to slash get, and there I can just log the user out. Is the idea clear here? Any confusion? Great. So now what do I need to do? I've created my route for the user, but here for the shop, I don't have any shop now. I need to rename it to flights, right? So I need to name it flight like that, flight.js. And now if I go to flight.js, I need to import this one. I don't have shop controller anymore. It should be flight, right? Flight controller. And of course, I need to rename them to flight controller. And here it will not be shop. I need to rename it to flight. Other than that, the token is still the same. So let me go to the controller and let me rename this one to flight so I do not forget. Flight like that, voila. And the name here should be flight controller, right? So if I go to flight, it was not shop controller. I need to modify it to flight controller. And I go to down when I am exporting it. Also, I need to rename it to flight controller, and that should be fine. For the module here, I need to update them, but let's update them later now. Okay, so for the user, I didn't change anything because it will be the same for whatever project you are building. For flight, actually, it will be a little bit different. So as you can see, I'm importing flight controller, which currently I do not have from controller. I am importing verify token. And then here I will import my different function, but I will need different route. So the first route here, when I'm trying to get all the flight, what should I name the route here? What good naming will be? Flights. So maybe I can just say flights like that, flights. And after that, here I can use flight ID to get specific flight. And then here I can add a flight. And then here I can add flight, but the method here, it will be post. Okay, so add flight here, when the user to go to slash add flight and the method is get, I need to make sure the user is already logged in. And that's the reason why I'm using verify token. I need to make sure that the user has a token. If he has a no token, that means he's not logged in. I will not allow him to add a flight. But if he has a token, then I'm gonna send him now a form after that, and this form, it will be add get add flight form. Okay? Yes, no? Okay. These naming are confusing. I need to change them.
12, 9, 12.
So let me put this one here, and let me put the flight here. Click on that so I can see both of them, and then now I can change them accordingly. Okay, so get all product, maybe we can just rename it to get all flights, right? So we just go here and I will just name it get all flights. Flights like that. Get product by ID, maybe we can name it get flight by ID, right? Get add product form, it will be get add flight form. It's the same idea. Flight form. Add product, here it will be add flight.
1 field sub, line 12.
Line 12.
Flight, it's plural. Delete the S.
Flights here.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but I'm making it just flights. Yeah, all flight. But when I have an ID, I have all the flight. But when I have an ID, then I will go and
To one flight.
yeah, but here
Right now it's plural. Yeah, okay.
you get the point.
Yes.
Slash flight, that means all the flight. But when I say slash ID, that means for specific flight.
Sorry.
That's what we did the same. By the way, you can change it if you don't like it. So the route here,
No, but it's more logic the way
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, but you can define your route according to your need. It's not a problem. Okay, now here we have get all flight. I just need to replace this one with this one. Come on. My keyboard is not working fine. Get all flight, and here let's remove this one and put this one. Then I have get flight by ID, and I need to remove this guy and put this one. And then get add product form, it will be get add flight form. So let's delete this one. And the last one here, it will be add a flight instead of add a product. So let's delete this one, and voila. And of course here I need to also rename my function here. So the first function, it was get all flight, right? Voila. The second one, it was get flight by ID. Are you noticing that all the projects are the same? It's just we are changing the names, that's it. Same structure exactly. Okay, then we have get add product form, it will be get add flight form. Voila. And then add product, here it will be add flight instead of add product. And now I have my new controller, everything should be fine. Voila. Yes.
Change the flight controller.
Which in the route here?
When we bring all the cons, we get all.
Yes,
the-
so it's not shop flight, indeed. It's flight controller. It's not shop controller. You're absolutely right. And that should be good. And now, of course, after that, I will come and modify this stuff. But for now, let's just get rid of all of that. We can write the logic, because the logic here in the controller is quite important. So I'm going to delete this one as well. I'm going to delete this one as well. Okay, now I have nothing in this guy. That's fine. I have nothing. I need to also create a module, and the module, it will be flight, actually. Flight, like that. And it will not be from shop, it will be from flight. Flight. I'm going to create the module with you. So now we will create this logic later. Let's go here. Everything should be fine now. Let's go here. And that should be fine, actually. User, it's the same. We didn't change flight. Everything should be fine. Did I forget anything here? Flight controller, that should be fine. Verify token. You already have verify token by default. route, express.route, get all of them, everything should be fine. Okay, we finish our route. What should do after that? We need to go to our module. So user, I already have user, so I'm not gonna do the user here. Let's go to shop, and we need to rename it to flight like that. Okay, now here I need to change this data. Why? Because actually this data that now is a product, I need to change them to flights. Const flights like that, and it will be equal to array. Same idea. And now here I can just put few object data, dummy data. So here we will have ID, and the ID I need to call the ID to create it. Then maybe I can create from, to, date. Yeah, you can add whatever you want to here. Company, I will stick with those for now. Later on you can add more data. It's really depend on you. I'm gonna add another flight here, flight number 2. So as the ID here, I need to create a unique ID. I'm gonna call ID. What is this ID mean? Can anyone tell me what this ID mean? Where did I get this ID?
The function
Yeah,
from UUID.
from UUID. So UUID, I need to import something called v4 for version 4, and then I can name it whatever you want to. So I can use as, and then I can give it any name I want to. That's the reason why I name it just ID like that. And it will be a function. Each time I execute this function, it will return me a unique ID. Okay, an ID, it will be string, by the way. So it's the same idea from Paris, from New York, I don't know, date. Is it the same? Yeah, it's the same. It's fine, it's fine. Let me just close this guy and here. So the idea is not about the data. You can just create your own data. Okay, now I need get all. It's the same. Get by ID is the same. Add is the same. But now I need maybe to change few stuff. Why? Because get all, it will work for everything, but I just need to name it flight like that. Flight. And of course, I need to export it as well. Do not forget to export. Voila. Of course, now get all, because it's inside flight class, that means get all flights. So I can do the same, but instead of returning this guy, I can just return flights, right? Voila. And here it will be also the same. I can just, instead of product, I can just pass flights and it will work. And here, of course, that's not a good naming. I need to name it flight, because a single of flights is, what is a single of flights? It's one flight, right? Voila. And now here I will try to add a new flight. And in order to add a new flight, I need to pass an object. Don't forget that. And here it will be a new flight. I will need to add an ID, new flight. And here I can destructure the flight. Why I am able to destructure the flight, Agnieszka? Why I am able to destructure the flight here? Because what is the type of data flight here? It will be object. Because it's an object and I am inside the object, so I can take all the property inside the object and add it here. And all I have to do now, I have to change this one to flights. And here I need to push the new flight, not the new product. And also I can return the new flight in case I need it. I don't need it, but in case I need it, I can return it. And voila. So that's all our module in flight. For users, the module stays the same. Okay, where I will need these modules? Where I will need these modules? The modules in the controller, because the controller, imagine this way. When the request, when the client send the request first come to, of course, it checks the route, it match which route. After that, it will go to the controller. The controller, it will decide, okay, I need some data. It will call the module, give me this data from the database. In the module job, it's to go to the database and grab the data. If you need any views, it will ask the view, give me this view, and after that, it will render this data inside the views, and it will send it back to the user as a form of response. Why you are so happy today? I'm glad you are happy, but focus with me. Okay, let's go to our controller. First, let's go to the user. And the user here, as you can see, there is nothing here new, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete all of that and I'm going to write it again. So you get practice of that. Of course, I'm not going to delete get register form because it's just a form. Get login form, it's just a form. Log out, I'm going to delete it. It's fine. And here, this code, I'm gonna delete all of it, so we get used to everything here. Voila, that's a lot. Cool. Now here I have my register, it's empty. I have my log out, which is empty. Where is my login? I deleted it. That's super cool. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to start with register. After that, we're going to start with the login. Then we start with the logout. For these two guys, they are just forms. I'm not going to change the form, by the way. They're still the same for the user login form. Register forms are the same, but I'm going to change this product to flights. One flight, and here maybe add flight here. I'll change the name and maybe a little bit the structure. That's it. Okay, now in register, when the user try to register, what should I do? I have a form, by the way. In register, I have the form. So the form in register, I will have the email, I will have the password, and I will have the password. And in order to show you, I can just go to register form, and as you can see, here, what the name is, email. Now, depending on this name, this property is very important. Depending on this name, the name of whatever I'm getting from the body, it will be the same as this name. So I name it email, it will be email. So it will be body.email. If I name it password, it will be password, repassword. Don't forget that. Okay, now what should I do, Agnieszka, first? I am in register. What should I do? So the user fill in the form, click on register. Should receive some data, right? What do I need? Email, password, and repassword. So I can just simply destructure it. I will receive them from the body, request.body. So I can just say const email, password, and not confirm password. If you say confirm password, it will give you nothing. It will give you undefined. Why? Because in my form, what do I name it here? Well, I name it repassword, so it should be repassword. So let me go here and let me do that. And it's coming from request.body. Okay, what will be the first step? I have the email, I have the password, I have the repassword. What's the logical step first?
Checking if the mail is.
Okay, so the email is unique. That means I need to make sure all the time when I'm adding a new user, the email is unique. Because now here I'm not using username, I'm using the email. That means the email must be unique. If they are not unique, I will have two users with the same email, and that's a big problem. So first, before doing anything, I need to make sure that does this email exist in my database or not? If it does exist, that means the user is already registered. So what I can do here, I can just say check if email already, no, email exists like that. So okay, I'm checking. So here I can just how can I check if the email exists or not?
If email.
So but that's the email the user give me. Okay, so what I can do, I can go to my module, and inside the user I have something. As you can see, I have get by email. So what I can do, I can just use the user module dot get by email and pass the user email, and after that, it will return me either an object, and if it return me an object, that means the email already exists. Is the object in JavaScript is true or falsy? No. Object. Is object in JavaScript true or falsy? Object. Okay, if you don't remember, all you have to do, just go here. Where is the inspect? What you can do, so true and false, that means we cast them to Boolean. You can just use Boolean. So you can just say Boolean like that, and in the Boolean pass an empty object. And voila, it's pass you truthy. So in Python, there is different, because in Python, object, what we call them dictionary and arrays, okay, they are falsy value. But in JavaScript, if they're empty. But in JavaScript, even if the array or the object is empty, it's their truthy value. Okay? Okay, now what I can do, it's quite simple now. All I have to do now, what I can say const email exist, right? Exist like that, but first I need to exist. And here I can just use the user dot get by email and passing the email. How many possibility do I have now? Two. Either I'm gonna get the email, which will be an object, that means it will be truthy, or I will get null. Null, and null is falsy value. So what I can do here, I can handle the second case. If it's null, that means the email, actually, if the email exists, what should I do? If the email exists, what should I do?
Accept the register.
No, but if the email exists, that means the user, now the user here try to register. If the email exists, that means I already have a user with this email.
Send a message that say that this email is.
So what I can
already
say here, I
registered.
can just say if email exists, restore status 400. 400, that means it is user or client error. So here, I'm not gonna pass JSON, but I'm gonna pass a message. And in order to use the message, I can again use 404 if I want to. Why? Because 404 accept a title render. And here I can use 404, or you can create your own, it doesn't matter. And here I need to pass an object with title and message. And here I can come here and create a message. Message like that. Voila. Cool. So the first step here, what I am doing here, I'm checking if the email exists. Well, that means the user already exists with this email. So I should send the user a response and tell him, for example, email already exists. Can anyone tell me why I use return here? Why did I use return here? Sometimes I use return, sometimes I don't use return. Why? If I use if else block, now the if else, we have one possibility. If you have if else block, either if will be executed or else will be executed. But here I am planning to use only if, and if I don't use return, in my code, it will be go down and it will execute the next line. I will have an error. And because I don't want to put it inside else, why? Because it will, yeah. So it's, if I put it inside else, I will have a lot of code inside else. It will be difficult to read. That's the reason I'm using return. That means if it hits this route, it will stop and it will execute the function. So it will not, it will stop the function. It will not go to the next line here. It will just send the response to the user and it will exit my register controller. Yes? Okay, now here in this case, let's say here, if I get here, that means the email is okay, it does not exist. What should I do after that? If I got here, that means the email does not exist. That means I am accepting the email. What should I do?
Login.
No, I need to validate. So I have a lot of util function here. I need to validate the email, make sure that the email follow my syntax. I need to validate the password, and also I need to make sure that the password and repassword they match. Because here maybe the user just send me hello as email, hello, something like that, at just like that. I need to validate the email. I need to validate the password. I need also to make sure that the password and repassword they match. So I have three conditions here. So what I can say, yeah. So I need to validate the email, the password, and here check if password match. So I have three stuff here. So I can just say const is. Why I'm starting with is? Because it is a Boolean. So here, if I go to validate email, which is a util function, validate email, it returns me either true or false, right? So because it returns me true or false, it's a good idea to name your variable is or are or something like that. Yes, Agnieszka. But you have to speak up.
By sending an email to this email?
No, because when you send an email to an email, Agnieszka, you are using a provider. So normally when we send an email, we need another provider. Okay, so we need another server from company, and we are paying. Let's say if I send 13 email, I'm paying this amount of money. If I'm gonna do all that with all user, I will pay a lot of money. And no, that's not good code. What I can do, I need to validate my email.
But then that the email exists, because the user should go to.
But you are a developer. You are a developer. You are programmers. That means you can validate the email. So if my boss came to me and I tell, okay, I want the email to be, for example, some first name I need to have does not include any special character, and then it must have aerobus or at, and after that I have .com. So I will take all these requirements and I can create a function and validate all these requirements, or I can just search online for a regular expression which will do exactly the same job for me.
Even if it matches, and I will write, I don't know, agnieszka@gmail.com, but it doesn't exist, this email.
It's not like that, Agnieszka. It's not like that. In real application, When the user try to register, okay, when you register, we send him a link in his email. And when he click on this email, then it will be verified as a user. So in real application, it's not like you think, no, not now. It will be next step, next step, next step. So at the end, when the user registered, everything is okay, we will send him a link to his email. And when he click on the link, he will redirect us to our website. And then we will validate the user that his email belong to him. Okay? I don't think we will do it, but maybe we'll see. Because that's the important thing. Okay. Okay, we are validating the email. We need to validate password, and then we need to validate or check if both password match. So here it will be validate password, and then here const do password match. Now, if all three guys here are true, what should I do after that?
Encrypt the password.
Yes, so what I can do here, I can encrypt the password, and then I can register as a user, indeed. So what I can do here, I can just check if all of them, so if is valid email, and is valid password and stuff like that. So then I need to hash the password, and then I need to create a user, and after that I need to send or redirect the user to something else. But now let me get rid of this one for now. So this condition, it will be implemented only when all these three conditions are true. But what if one of these conditions are not true? What should I do?
Some kind of error message.
I should send a user a response and tell him either the email or the password is not valid. Now here I know that the password is not valid.
But we don't say.
But we don't say that. Yes, that's for security.
Security.
Yeah. So what I can do here, I can just restore status 400. Also, client error, Agnieszka, stay with me. 404, and here I'm just saying invalid email or password, invalid email or password. That means if this one of them is falsy. But if all of them are truthy, now I need to do something. What should I do?
This time, log in the user.
No. I need to hash the password. I did not hash the password yet. I told you we never save the password in the database as it is. We need to hash it. To hash the password. How can I hash the password? We have a function for that, which is called hash password. Let's go to hash password. Hash password. What should I pass here? Well, I just need to pass the password, and it will return me the hash password. Simply like that. So let's go here, and let's say const hashed password. It's equal to hash password and password. Now my password is being hashed. Now I can create a new user. How can I create a new user? Well, I will go to the user module. How can I create a new user? Well, I can use this method. I can say user.add, and I need to pass an object. With this object, it will include the user email and the user password, right? The hash password, of course. Do I need a repassword here? When I create a user, do I need a repassword? When I create a user, do I need a repassword, or I just need the password?
No, when you create the user.
Yes.
You need.
Are you sure?
All the website ask 2 times the password.
Well, yes, I did ask 2 times too. But why I am asking the user for 2 times? What's the reason? Yeah, to make sure that the user remember or do not mistake in the password. But I've already validated this one here. I check if it's matched. When I'm creating a user, I don't need the repassword. I only need the hash password. That's it. So here, let's try to do it here. Now, what I can do, I can use the user module, which is user like that. It's capital U. You create user, voila. User.add. And I need to pass, what was the data type? Must be an object. I need to pass the email, and I need to pass the password. Remember, the password here, it will be my hash password here. So email, it will be the same, but the password, it will be the hash password. Yes? Okay, after I created the user, what should I do? I can redirect to /login if I want to, or it depends really on what requirements the website requires. Some website, it will just send the user a response telling him that the user is being created successfully, go to login. But in my code here, I'm just gonna redirect to /login. So redirect to login, to slash login. So all I have to do now, I can just say rest.status 201 slash, it was slash login, right? So for the login, it was slash login. That's cool. Now for here, because I'm redirecting, I can change the method to 302. And voila, that's we done. So that's the first thing here when we're trying to register the user. Clear or not? Yes, Madam Agnieszka.
Slash API slash login, because sometimes we put.
Yes, but I did not. Yes, but I here, as you can see, I did not use yet my my stuff here. So yes, actually, if it is an API, I'm planning to use an API. So yes, you are right. I should use. Oh, where's the flight? It's not here. It's here. So it should be slash API. If I am using API in the index.js, remember that. But yes, so I'm a slash API slash login. But here it should be slash. Voila. Yes. So now maybe because you remind me, that's a good point actually. Let's import our route because we still did not import our route. So what I can say, I can just say import user route. It's from .route slash user, yeah. Import flight route. So import flight, no flight routes from dot slash route from this one. And now here where I can use my route, well, here I can use my route. First I'm gonna use the user, and then I'm gonna use a flight, and I'm in both of them I'm using slash API. That's mean whenever I'm redirecting, I need to say slash API slash whatever. Cool. I don't have any error in my terminal, which is for so far is fine. Now we are into the login. What should we do in the login? We understand the register, we did it, it's successful, everything is fine. It's nice. What should we do in the login? If I go to login form, the user here just puts the email and the password only. So what should I do here in the login? I need to take the email and the password from the request.bodies as the first step. Okay. So I can just say const email and password is equal to request.body. What should I do? What will be the first step? Yes. So first I need to make sure that the user exists, and I'm using the email here. So I need to check if the email exists, because if the email does not exist, what should I do? If I'm logging, user tried to log in, but the email does not exist, what should I do?
The error.
I will send a response error message and say the email does not exist, you are not registered, please register, or something like that. So what I can do here, I can just say const, I will just leave some comment here, check if email exists, and here it will be user.get by email, which I already created in my module, and email here. How many possibility do I have here? Either the email exists or not. Now, if the email exists here, the user exists, I will have an object. If not, I will have a null. So here, let's say in case it does not exist. So what I can say if not user exists. User, actually, I should name it email exists. It's better. Email exists like that. And let me remove the S like that. So if no email exists, what should I do?
Error.
So I just should a message, as you can see, 400 user error, render 404, email does not exist. Email does not exist, please register. So I can add here, please register first, voila. And here I'm using return, right? Because I'm using return, do I need to use else or no? So no. Okay, now if I got to this point here, that means I am already sure that the email exists. Now what will be the second step? I need to make sure that the password is. So I know the email exists, that's fine. I have the second part, which is the password. I need to make sure that the password is.
Encrypted.
No, the user types something, he tries to log in. I will take his password and I will take the password I encrypted using bcrypt. I hashed it, and then I will try to ask bcrypt to compare both of them. And if both of them.
Match or not? If the password matches or not?
Yes, if it does not match, then I will just say, for example, email or password is incorrect. I will not say password, I will say email or password. Okay, because maybe if I say just the password is not correct, the user may try with different password until it's hacked my website. And of course, if it's matched, then after that, what should I do? I can redirect him to /API/flights. And of course, I need to create a token before that. But anyway. Okay, now I can use this guy here, which is called bcrypt. So can I use bcrypt? What should I do? I can just say bcrypt dot match, or actually it's compare. So let me do this one, and here let me close it. Voila. So this bcrypt here, what it's doing here is can compare both of them. Say first it will take the password, which is the user providing me with that. So if I go to compare here, it will tell me if function. Actually, let's go to the documentation. It will be nicer. Let me click on this one and let's go to bcrypt. Bcrypt. Voila, npm. Click. Let's go to bcrypt. And if I go down, I've already hashed my passwords. That's fine. I don't need to hash it here. I need to compare. Voila. So bcrypt.compare. I need to pass the user, the password the user enter, and the hash password. Then I will have a callback function with error and result. And result, it will be a Boolean. Okay. And then I can, if the result is true, then that means there is a match. If it's false, that means there is no match. So let's go back to our code and try to do it. So here I have result. I will not name it result. I will just name it valid. Why? Why valid is better than result?
It's better naming.
Yes, but why? Because it is. What's the data type of result? Because it's a Boolean. That's the reason why I'm using it this way. Okay, now that's the user password here. So that's the user, the password user enter. After that, I need to get the hash password. How can I do that? Well, email exists dot password. And remember, when I created the user, I saved the hash password. Then I have an error, and then I have a valid. Of course, now let's say if error, let's handle the error first. If is the error, what should I do? I can just console.error, something like that. So it will be for the developer. So I can just say error like that, console.error like that. Voila. But if I don't have the error here, I will have two possibilities. And now here I can just say if valid. What should I do if it's valid? So if it's valid, I can do something. If it's not valid, I can do something else. Let's take this one. If it's not valid, what should I do? If it's not valid, that means the password is not correct. Okay. So what I can do, I can just send the user status 400 and then render invalid password or email. Why I am doing that? It's just for security stuff here. And why I'm using return here. Do I need else? No. So here, if I get to this point, that means the password will be valid. Okay. Now here I can create a token. But how can I create a token? How can I create a token? Good question. I can use the library GWT. So GWT npm. If you go to the library, yeah, it's not this one. It's just npm. npm. Voila. So if I go to JSON Web Token and I click on this one, and it will show me how to use it. Okay, sign, voila. So as you can see here, to create a token, I can use GWT, which I already imported, sign, and here I need to pass the object. And this object normally it will include the user data. Here I'm just gonna pass the user email because that's all I have. Then I will need here a secret key here. So here I will need a secret key. Of course, I have other parameter I can add, which will be algorithm. Don't do that. As a default, algorithm is good enough. Okay. So now it's quite simple. All I have to do is just gwd.sign. So let's try to create our token. So create token. And here I can just say const token gwt sign email password. And here I can, by the way, I can pass some extra data to define the expiry. It will be expire in 1 hour, but I'm not going to do that. That should be enough for me. So that's all I need. Let me close it like that. Just a second. I am missing something here. That should be fine. Actually, that should be okay. Voila. Yes, what was the question?
Login into your bank application, there is expiry, yeah? If you don't use it, it's this one.
No, so the expiry, for example, some user just logged in. If I want, for example, if the user is not active for 1 hour, some websites, they will just invalid the token, so it will be expired, and after that he need to log in again. So sometimes that's good practice. For some websites, no, they just allow the user to stay logged in for weeks, for months. It's really depend. It depends what you want. But if you want, for example, a validation date for your token, you can just add comma here, and you have an object, and you have a lot of property to do so. But for me, I don't want any of that. So I have my token, which is nice. Remember, I passed the email only. Why did I pass only the email? Can anyone tell me? Because I have nothing except the email. I have password, but it does not smart to send password. So I'm just saving the email here. But if I have username and stuff like that, I'm going to put them here. I created my token. What should I do after that? I've created my token. What should I do after that? I need to create. Yeah, what I'm going to do is a token. I'm going to keep it here in my server, or I'm going to send it to the client. I need to send it to the client in form of cookie. So I need to create a cookie. Yeah. So what I can do here, I can just set cookie. And here in cookie, I can just say res.cookie, and the token here, it's my token. And I will make HTTP only true. Why I'm making HTTP only true? Because if HTTP is not true, if I have some script in the front end, they will be able to access my token. Yes, my token is secure, because if you change even one character in my token, it will not be valid. But I don't want anyone in the front end be able to access the token, because this token is the server. It's for me just to validate that the user login. I should not allow if the user type document.cookies to grab my token. Is the idea clear? So I've set the token. After that, what should I do? I can redirect now to flight, right? So what I can do here, I can just say res dot status. What is the status of the redirect? 302. And then here, let's just say redirect. And we can redirect it to API/flight. Voila. Is it quite clear what I did here or not? Hello? Yes? No? Maybe? Okay. So I've created a token. I've saved the token as a cookie, and after that, I'm redirecting the user. Everything should be fine. Now, what if the user want to log out? What should I do? Actually, it's quite simple, this one. If the user want to log out, what should I do? I need to clear the cookie, and after that, yeah, I can redirect if I want to. So here, as you can see, all I have to do just clear cookie. And what's the name of my cookie? It's token, and then I can redirect to API/login or API/flights if you want to. It doesn't matter really. Is the idea clear? And now the user else should be set. And voila. Question. This is important. This authentication is quite important. Now I've deleted everything. I've tried to go with you step by step, but it will be the same step all the time. So you need to remember what we are doing. And if you don't remember any library, how it's work, it's simple. Just go to the documentation and just look for it like that. It's simple. When you verify the token, we have verify, by the way. Let's go to verify token. Where's my verify token? It's inside middleware. So verify token, if you don't remember, you can just go here, and we have something called verify, GWT verify. It will take the token, the secret key I am using, then I will have error and decode it. And that's what I'm doing here. Request response next. Why do I have next here? Why do I have next in this function? Why do I have next in this function? Because it's a middleware. All middleware has next. All middleware has next. Because if they don't have next, I will not be able to go. If it passes the middleware, I will not be able to pass the response to the coming route. Okay, I'm grabbing the token. If token does not exist, I'm just telling them that he's not authorized. If the token exists, I'm using verify. I'm passing the token process.inf token secret, and that's the name here, actually, token secret. I have error on data. If I have an error, I'm just sending stuff like that. If I don't have an error, I'm just saying next. That means go to the other route. That should be fine. But I think in the user, when I'm creating my token, I'm making a mistake. Let me go here. Where I'm creating the token. Where is I'm creating my token? Yeah, so here it's not secret. It is token secret. Why is it token secret? Because if I go to my domain, I name it token secret. As you can see. Voila. That should be good. Now the user is finished, which was the most difficult thing. This one is the most easy thing. Okay, yeah, I already have all this stuff. So I'm gonna delete product. I'm gonna delete products and add product also. I'm gonna delete it. So that's fine. And that should be this one, this one. That's okay. I'm gonna keep those two guys. I have my navs here. And remember, in the navs, I need to pass some stuff like that. So I need to pass token and stuff like that. Because when the user is logged in, I shouldn't show him login or register. It doesn't make sense, right? Okay, let me go to flight. I'm trying to get all the flight. How can I do that? Well, in my module, which is flight, I am quite sure I have a method, right? That's the reason why we create a module. So if I go to flight, I have get all. Because I have get all, I can use it. So how can I use it? Well, it's quite simple. I can just say const flight, it's equal to flight.get all, and then rest.status 200. But I don't want to send JSON. What do I want to send? I need to send EGS. So it will be render. And what I'm trying to render? Well, I'm trying to render a flight. So here I need to create a flight. I don't have it, of course. And let's save this one. What is flight? What data type is flights? What data type is flights? What flight is? An array. I think I will need also to pass, if I'm not mistaken here, I need to pass also the token. Why? Because depending on that, when I pass it to the navigation bar, I will check if the user is logged in or registered. Then I will show him if he's logged in. I will not show him, for example, register or login again on the navigation bar. So I will need the token. How can I grab the token? Const token. It's equal to request.cookies. What was the name? Actually, I don't need that. Let me destructure it because I can destructure it actually. So I can just say token like that. It will be equal to request dot this cookie. And now here I can pass my token if I want to token. Of course, if I have the token, that means the user is logged in. If I don't have, that means it's not logged in. Let's create, actually, let me create one by one. It's fine. No, let me create all the functions, then I'm gonna create EGS. It will be easier this way. So I don't have to switch a lot of files. Flight, okay. I'm trying to get a flight by ID. What I will need? I'm trying to grab or get a flight by ID. What do I need? ID, of course. Where I will get the ID? Param. So const ID, it will be equal to request.param. And after I have the ID, it will be simple now. I can just say const flight. It will be equal to flight.get ID. Now, how many possibility do I have here? Will I always have the flight or not? Well, maybe when I'm trying to get a flight, maybe when I'm using Postman, I'm using an ID which does not exist. So I will have two possibilities here. Either I will have a flight or not. If I have the flight, that's easy. So if flight, if no flight, I will send 404. A flight does not exist. Here I can use 404 EGS template. So let's try to use it. So let's render for, come on, render 404. And here I need to pass two stuff. What do I need to pass? Yeah, render is not correct. So I need to pass title and message. Shouldn't be difficult because I'm just repeating. Voila. And here I can return, that's fine. I'm gonna keep, no, I don't need the return because I'm planning to use else. So I don't need return really. So let's use else. Well, if it's okay, that means all I have to do now, I need to render the flight. So I need to create a flight, and here the flight is an object. I'm passing this flight here. So I should be good. I'm trying to get at flight form. So that should be very simple. What should I do here? Rest dot status 200, and I need to render the add flight form. So it will be super simple. This one, rest dot status 200, render add flight form, but I don't know what do I name it. No, I don't have it yet. So let's name it add flight like that. Do I normally separate them by dashes? So let's separate them by dash. It's fine. Add flight form. That's okay. When I'm trying to add a flight, what do I need?
Or
Well, in order to know, I need to go to the module. Where is my module? What normally do I have in the flight? From, to, date, price, company, and ID. I don't need it because I'm generating the ID here. So let's try to grab all these value. So I can just say const. Ah, come on. Const. And I will have from, to, date, price, company. That's everything, right? Now here I can make a check here. Now I can say if no, if no any of them, that means if I want all of them to be required. So if no from or to or date or price or company, I'm sending 404, I'm sending invalid input, invalid input, or you can say please fill in all the field like that. And here else, I'm gonna use some, that means if I am inside else, that means I have all the value. All I have to do here, I can just say flight.add, and I need to pass an object. Remember here, it must be an object flight. From, to, date, price, company, and then I will grab all of them and I will create an ID and I put them there. And yeah, I think that's it. After that, I need to redirect to /API/flight. When I add it, I want to go to the flight, all of them. And here's the reason here. That's fine. That's it. Let's implement also update and delete. And update and delete, I cannot test them from EGS, but I'm going to test them from Postman. So let's implement update. So let's say update flight. And update flight, of course, I will have this one, and also I need delete flight. Okay, if I'm trying to update a flight, what should I do?
take the ID.
No, just the ID only?
Oh,
So first I need the ID, of course, because I need to make sure that the flight exists, because I cannot update a flight which does not exist. Then after that, I need to grab all the data, which is from, to, data, price, company, and blah, blah, blah. After that, I'm not going to change the ID. It will stay the same. I'll take these guys and make sure if these guys, all of them exist. If all of them exist, then I can update this guy. If one of them does not exist, I will say, please fill in all the data we need, and voila. For delete, same idea, I need the ID. I need to make sure the flight exists. If the flight exists, I can delete it. If it does not exist, I need to send a response to the user telling him an error message, the flight does not exist. Should be cool, huh? So let's try to grab it. So const, I'll need the ID. I will need all the value here. And here, I need to make sure that the flight exists. To make sure the flight exists, I have get by ID and I pass the ID. Now, when I have here two possibilities. Either I have a flight or I don't have a flight. So what I can do here, I can just say if flight, that means I have it. I will do something else. I'll do something else. So let's start with else. If I don't have a flight, what should I do? Well, I send to the user status 404. I will render for here, flight not found, flight not found. But if the flight exists, so what I can do here, I can just update my data here. Fly.from to data, price, company, and then I will send a status 200 and I will render the flight. If I want to, here render the flight and I can use the flight EGS if I want to. And voila, that's simply how it is. But here in okay, because I'm planning to use Postman for update and delete. I'm not gonna send render. I'm gonna just send JSON. What was the reason? Because I cannot test it in EGS. So what I'm going to do here, I'm gonna delete this one and I'm gonna just send JSON here, just because I want to test it in Postman. That should be fine. And in here, I don't want to render it as well, so I want to send JSON. JSON like that, and JSON, of course, it will require me to send an object, and that should be fine. Yeah, delete. What should I do in delete? Get the ID, make sure the flight exists, If it exists, I'll delete it. I'll send the 200 response. If it does not exist, I need just to send a message error. And here, for this one as well, I'm gonna use JSON. Yeah, but it look like I'm making a mistake here. Because JSON, it's a function, so I need to grab this guy, put it inside here. And now it's correct. Okay, let's do the same. Const ID. And here, of course, I need to say if the flight exists or not. I will have two possibilities. Either if it exists, I will just say flight.delete. Do I have delete here? No, I need now to add update and delete here actually. Maybe it was not a good idea to do it the first place actually. Okay. What I'm going to do here, I will transfer this logic and this logic inside my module because actually that's the job of the module. So what I'm going to do here, I can create static. And here I can just say update, just update. Now update here, it will take the ID and the flight and it's going to do here, it will try to grab the index, then it will try to create a new flight. Don't worry about this logic. I can, if I want to, I can grab this one and update each value. Is this one just another logic here? That's fine. Let's do the delete as well. And here, voila. So now I have all the logic here. All I have to do when I update, I need to pass the ID and I need to pass the new flight here, which will be an object. Yeah, but that's a new data actually. Yeah, flights dot find index, which is the flight. Let me do it in another way. So what I can do, I can just simply say, I can find const flight. It's equal to find. I can just find the flight here. And when I find the flight here, I can simply say, yeah, no, maybe I need to name it something else, not flight. Updated flight maybe, because I already have flight here. Okay, I'm just finding the updated flight. I can use get by ID if I want to. That's fine, that's not bad. After I find it here, I can just say, actually, let me just update it. So what I can do here, I can just say if updated flight, I will just say update flight from, which will be this one from to blah, blah. So now here it's much easier. All I did the first time here, I just find the flight and then here, if the flight exists, I'm updating the data. If you don't like this one, I can use find if you want to, voila. So I'm using find, I'm finding my flight, then I'm updating from to date price company.
The previous was.
No, the ID,
Oh,
we never touch the ID.
I don't speak about the ID.
We just use the ID to find the flight, but
Change.
yeah, so we need the ID to find the flight. After that,
I'm not talking about the ID, but you change flight find. The previous version was better for me, more readable.
so get by ID, it was this method, this one.
Yeah.
So I can use this inside the class, I can use another method in the class. But if I did that, it will be a little bit confusing for you. So I just use find, normal find. And then if I have it, I will update the value just like that. Now here, I don't need all this logic inside my controller actually. Why? Because I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need all of that. What do I need now? Well, I can just use my stuff here. I can check here first if all of them exist. So I can just say if from no, I just say and. So if all of them exist, now I can use just my module. What was the name of my module? No, it was flight dot update, and here I need to pass the ID and then an object. I'm passing the ID and the object, and that should be fine. And after that, of course, I need to send a response, which will be 200. And I'm sending JSON. Why? Because I'm planning to test it inside Postman. Okay, if it does not exist, if one of them does not exist, then I'm sending us something else, flight not found, and simply like that. Actually, maybe it's a good idea to first define the flight. I can add two conditions here because I will need to know if the flight exists. So const flight is equal to flight. So here I need to make sure the flight exists, then I can, so if flight, Then I need to make sure that if I have all of them, so I can just say if, now I have all of them, which is from, so it's double condition actually. And then I can add, no, come on, to all of that. Now I can add this one here. That should be fine. So first, I'm checking if the flight exists. If it exists, then I will check if from, to, date, price, all of them there. If they are there, then I'm gonna call this method inside my class, which is called flight.update. It's static. I need to pass the ID. I need to pass the object, which is called flight. And here I'm passing from, to, date, price, and everything is okay. If flight does not exist, I will say flight does not exist. That should be fine for now. What I need to do now, okay, I am missing something here. Let's put the comma. No,
Don't have to close.
where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, yeah, you're right. My mistake. Now it should be good. Let's go to delete. And for delete also, first we need to find it, because if we don't have it, we cannot delete it, right? If flight here, I can just use this method delete and pass the ID, and it will do all the job for me. So flight.delete, yes, and I need to pass the ID, and everything should be fine. Voila. We finish here now. All I need to do, I need just to create my EGS, and we should be done. Yeah. So how many EGS do I need? For the users, they're already there. For the flight, I will need, not you. I'll need to go to the controller. So first I need flights, right? So let me create flights. Flights like that, .egs. And of course I can create a template like that. And here I can just name it flights, right? Do I need CSS for it? Oh, come on. Flights. How can I link my CSS here? Link CSS, and it must be /CSS/style. Why? Because when I'm serving a static folder, which will be this one CSS inside, I will assume I am already inside the public. That's the reason why. Okay, in the body here, I need just to add a header. This is just a HTML. I need to add H1. And what was it? It was flights, if I'm mistaken. Agnieszka, you make me sleepy. And now here I can just put some logic. What is my logic? It will be angle bracket %. And here I can just loop through my, what was the data I am sending? It's called flights, right? Which is this one here. Flight like that. I can go here and I can just say flight dot for each. And for each, I can have single one, which will be flight, right? Which will be the object. And then here I need this one, then I need an angle bracket, and that should be fine. Now what I need to do here, I need to separate these two. Why? Because simply I will put my code inside this one, so I will need % angle bracket. And now here I need the other one here to put it, so angle bracket %, and put this guy here, and then I need % angle bracket. And voila. So that's simply my code here. I will put my code here. What I need to do now, I need to just to render some HTML here. So I'm just gonna go with this one. I have a div with ID flight. If I want, I don't have flight number. I have flight origin. I don't have all of that. So what do I have? What's the data? Can anyone remind me? Yes. So I will just say from. Here I will say to. I think I had date or something. Let's go to module. From to date price company. So let's go here. No, it will be this one.
Nice.
What the hell is that? I don't want the arrive. I just want the date. Also, I don't want that. Okay. So I have date, and then I need price, right? Price, of course, the price I can add. What do I need to add for price? Company. What do I need to add for price? I need to add a $sign unit here. And voila. And now, of course, if everything is okay and I go to API/flights, maybe my server is working. I don't know. So let's go to localhost. I think it was API and here it was flights. And voila, as you can see, that's my flight Paris, New York, blah, blah. That's everything. Of course, it's not styled. You can add some nice images, blah, blah, but that's okay. Yeah. Now, what should I add also for each flight? I need to add a button. And this button, when the user click on it, it should take him to a single flight. So what I can do here, I can do it here. So let's create a button. Let's make it just a normal button. And inside the button, I will have an href. And when the user click on it, it will take me to flight/ID, as you can see. And that's what I want to. Actually, I think I need API. If I'm not mistaken, I need API. So API flights slash, and here, let's say show more detail. Show more. You can name it whatever you want to. Let's go here. Let's refresh. And I have this guy. Now, if I click on it, I see it take me to this one, but I have a problem. What is the problem? Can anyone tell me what's the problem? What is the problem? Why I'm getting this error? So when you get an error, do not escape from the error. Just read it here. What's the problem? Well, it's telling me I cannot find the view flight because I did not create it simply. So let's go and create it. So I need to go here and now I create a file and I need to name it flight, single flight like that, and EGS like that. Now what I can do here, I can go to flight and I can actually copy this guy here. And then I can modify it, which will be much easier for me actually. So let's copy this guy. Let's go to single flight. Let's paste it here. Of course, here we don't have a loop. This one does not exist because my data, it will be just an object. And this guy does not exist anymore. So let's save it. And yeah, the rest should be the same. Here should be single flight. Here should be single flight. And here I will render the same stuff here. And when I click on this one here, maybe go show all. So when the user go to single flight, he will have a button. And when he click on it, it should take him back to all flights. And voila. Now let's go here. Let's refresh. And voila, see, I have single flight here. Now I have show all. Click on that, it will take me back to all my flights. And that should be simple. I don't have the error anymore. That's great. Now, what else do I need? I need to go to my controller and I need to go to flight. Okay, I have, yes, that's it. I have flights now. I have a single flight. And I need to render now this form, which will be add flight form. So I need to create it. So let me go here and I need to create this guy .egs, right? And now here, let me just create this some stuff like that. Let me add my CSS. So link CSS /CSS /style. And here, what should I name it? Add flight. I can go to the body. I can create a header. Add flight, yes. And now in here, I will need a form, right? So I can just create a form. What will be the action? Yes, Agnieszka.
With header instead of field. Line 18.
Yeah, it's not head, it's header, right? Well, that's HTML. But that's okay. Okay, now when the user click on add flight, where should I take him? Yes, so it will be the same route. If I go to flight route, it will be, yeah, that's the module. No, where is the route? Where is the route? Where is the route? Voila, flight. So it will be the same. I need to take him to this same, but the method must be, I will need to make the method post. So let me go in here and the action, it will be slash API, right? Slash this one, if I'm not mistaken. And then here the method, it will be post. By convention, it must be uppercase. Okay, what should I add? How many stuff do I need to add? Well, I need to add, I think, I will just take those from, to, date, price, company, and then I have a button and everything should be fine. Voila. Yep. So let's go to add flight. And I don't have the navigation bar, so let me create the navigation bars to see add a flight. So let me get this one, where's my navigation bar? It should be in the flights here. So let me add my navigation bar. How can I include my navigation bar? So I can just say angle bracket percent minus include, and it will be slash, actually dot slash include slash nav.js. Now, if you remember, I need to pass something to my EGS. What it was? Yes, token. Am I receiving the token here? Am I receiving the token? So am I passing the token to this EGS? So let me go to my controller. Am I passing the token? Yes, I am passing the token. As you can see, if I have it, I'm passing it. So I should be fine. And now if I go to the navigation bar, of course, if I have a token, I will show add product and log out. If I don't have token, I'm going to show these guys here, and that should be good. Let's refresh. And as you can see, I have home, login, register, and everything is fine because I'm not logged in yet. Of course, now I need to register a user, and then I need to log in. So let's try to register a user. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to log the user when he register. Let me just go here. When he log in, when he register, why? Because I want to save, I want to get the password when the hash password. Yes, Agnieszka. Samuel, can you hear Agnieszka? I cannot hear.
You have to change add flight
Really? Why?
because it's add product in the navigation list.
Are you sure?
Line
Line
five.
five.
Oh my God. That's bad.
Number, number
We
five,
Add flight, and then I have home. That should be fine. But yes, you are right. It should be flights.
line five.
But that's not the problem. We have another problem. Flights. And in here, it's not as API slash add product, it's API slash add flight, if I'm not mistaken, right? Flight like that. And login is the same, register is the same. That should be fine. Let's refresh. You let me forget. So let me go to my controller, which is user. And I need to log the hash password. So what I can do, I can just log in here. Let me log it here because I want to grab log. No, I want to log the email. And also I want to log the hash password. Voila. Why? Because I am planning now to go to user here, and I'm planning to add one user or two user, but I don't want to show his password. So I want to show the hash password. Now I will create a user so I can see the hash password, then I can copy paste it here. So let me add ID 1. I don't want the name, I just want the email. So I will name it, I don't care, John at gmail.com. And I need the password, and password now, I will just make it empty string. Let's just make it now, but when I create a one, I will see the hash password. So let's add an email, John at gmail.com. And the password I want to create, it's U capital user 1234 exclamation mark. Same user 1234 and exclamation mark. And if I click, email is already exist. Yes, because I've already added the email. That was nice. Some user 1234. Come on. User 1234 and exclamation mark. User 1234 and exclamation mark. And let's register. Okay, that's good. Now what I can do here, as you can see, that's the hash password. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this guy. Copy it now. I can put it here. Voila. Paste it here. And that's my hash password. And I can change John to Sam. And now I should have my email. So let's try now to log in. So I should have sam@gmail.com and my password was user 1234 exclamation mark, and let's log in, and voila, magic, as you can see. Now I'm logged in, everything's fine. I can see add flight, log out, blah blah blah. So let's try to add a flight, and as you can see I have date, so I can select any date I want to from let's say Brussels to uh, to Moon. Date, price, $1,000. I don't know, company, blah blah blah. Let's add our flight, and it will take me back. And as you can see, it's flight Brussels Moon to blah 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 blah, and I have everything. Everything's fine. And of course, now if I go to here and I inspect, and now I go to my application. Where's my application? My application is here. And I go to my cookie. Notice I have my token. And the reason why HTTP only is checked, because when I define my cookie, I said HTTP is true. Now, if I try to access it, I say document dot what was the name dot cookies, right? And if I do that, and here, see, it doesn't give me my token, which is great. Now I need just to try to test, update, and delete, and we should be fine. But I cannot, as you can see, test, update, and delete here. I need to do it in Postman. So let me log out, and let me go to Postman, and I will show you something nice. So let's go to Postman. Of course, in Postman, you cannot update or delete. So do I have route for update and delete? I don't think I add any route for update and delete, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go to my code. Do I have any route? Not here. Let's go to route. No, I don't have for this one. So let me add router dot no dot put, and it will be /flight/ verify. By the way, for put and delete, the user need to be also logged in. If he's not logged in, that's why I put verify token. And I can do that here, and I don't know what's the name of the controller, so I will go to my controller here, and it was update flight. So I need to grab update flight, and don't forget to put it here like that. And the other one was delete, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, delete flight. So I can just put it here, and now here I can just say update flight. Yes, and here I can just say delete flight. Okay, that should be perfect. Now let's try to delete is the easiest one. So let's try to delete implement delete. So let me go to my flight back again. So I have this unique ID, but I don't know what's the ID. let me for now, for testing, I'm gonna remove this one, and I will add ID 1, because okay, ID 1, I want to make it string. So I will try to delete this flight with ID 1. So let me go to in here, Postman. What is the route? Localhost. It was localhost, how much? Come on.
504.
5004. And let's 5004 /API/flights. It was flights, if I'm not mistaken. /ID, and I need ID 1. And I wanted to make the method delete, because that's the easiest one to. Let me close this one. I don't want you. Let's try to send a request. And of course, it will be unauthorized. So it's telling me you are not authorized because I'm not logged in. But now I need to be able to log in. How can I log in? Well, I can go to /API/login, right? And what was the method to log in? Post. And now here I need to pass some data, right? What was the data? So JSON, I need to pass the email. Yes, the email, it was sam@gmail.com. And what was the password? Password like that. and it was user capital U 1234 an exclamation mark. Okay, now I have everything. Now I'm trying to log in. Notice, click, and yeah, see, I have home, I have stuff like that, I have everything. That means I've logged in successfully. But there is another way to do it actually. If I go to cookie, notice, click on the cookie and see here. Where's my cookie? Where's my cookie? I should have my cookie here actually. Yeah, yes, I should have my cookie here. Ah, yeah, voila, click. See, that's my token. This is my cookie here. So in Postman also it will be create a cookie and we can see our cookie. I see some messages here, guys. What's the message? Hash like, yes. Okay. Hashing is one way to process protect password, yes. Okay. Fine. Now I am quite sure the user is logged in, right? So what I want to do now, I want to try to delete one. So I can go to delete. I don't need this data in the body, but what I can do, I need to go to the correct route, which was API/flights and /1. So let's try to delete it. And as you can see, it returned me the flight. That means it's deleted successfully and the method is 200. Why it returned me the flight? Because I think in my route, I am returning the flight after deletion, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So that's simply how we tested with Postman. So you can log in with Postman normally. And when you log in, you will see the page, the HTML page. And also you can go to cookies. And in Postman, you can see the cookie, by the way, just like the browser. You go to cookies here, you can see your cookie. Voila, and your cookies here. Yep. I don't want to do updates because I need to write a lot of data. Ah, you do it. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. That's enough. Let's pause. Stop